This is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update video for June 28th, 6 a.m. Here's the color water vapor loop from NOAA. And we can see that Tropical Storm Alex is gaining strength in the southeastern Bay of Campeche. The hurricane hunters were out there early this morning and found the pressure continues to fall and the winds are coming up on the system. But this system might run into a little bit of problems here with the upper levels, with an upper level low forming in the northern Gulf of Mexico. So let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about what's happening. Here's the upper level low. It looks like it's drifting to the south. Now, I know that a lot of forecasters like to say that the upper level lows are good and it creates an outflow channel and all that kind of stuff, but this is coming down on this system. So Alex is heading this general direction. The upper level low is heading southeast, and the two are going to have to interact some way, which would mean maybe some increased southwesterly wind shear out in front of this. Plus you have this dry pocket of air out in here, which will maybe prohibit development a little bit with this system. So we also have the trough situation, and this is the big question, is where is this system going to go? We currently have high pressure nosing out and keeping this system moving very slowly in the Gulf of Mexico, and there's a weakness here that's developing right now, which should allow a channel for this to move north. But then after this trough passes by midweek, a high pressure ridge is going to build back in over the south, and then it's going to steer this thing back towards the coast. So the thinking is just south of the Texas-Mexico border is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. I'm leaning towards the border of the Mexico and Texas here. My predictions for the weekend, the details on that, but this is what I'm thinking the course is going to be, and it's very close to the National Hurricane Center official forecast. Now, Stacy Stewart this morning on the discussion at 4 a.m. mentioned that he thought this could reach major hurricane status, and you know he's one of the more aggressive forecasters down at the National Hurricane Center for intensity forecasts. So we'll see if this pans out. But I do agree with him. I think this could get up to major hurricane status, but if it were not for this upper level low in the northern Gulf, this could get a lot stronger than Category 3 with the warm sea surface temperatures and the upper level support. We have an upper level low out here east of the Bahamas, nothing to be concerned about. So that's basically it. All eyes are on Alex right now. Here's the HERD track program showing it making landfall Thursday morning, Laguna Madre, Mexico area, which would be the best case scenario, honestly. This is the lowest population center of any potential landfall for Alex. And this whole area here is very sparsely populated. And again, that forecast takes it kind of like this. So anything south of Brownsville, good news. If it gets down near Tampico, it's a higher population center. And of course, Brownsville, it picks up as well. But the good news is this potential track, keeps it away from the oil spill area. And they should get winds probably southeast 20 to 30 miles an hour in gusts, which would bring some more of that oil on shore, but not be as bad as if it had taken a path similar to this, like some of the models were indicating earlier in the week. So there it is, making landfall. All right, let's get to some images here. All right, here is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Category 2, Laguna Madre, Mexico. We'll see if the models shift north or south, but so far it looks like they're pretty status quo and taking this near South Texas or northern Mexico. Look at these sea surface temperatures out there, piping hot, especially up here in the northern Gulf. Thankfully, it's not heading in this area here because these are all temperatures in the upper 80s, around 90-plus degrees in some of these locations. But where it's at right now, not very piping hot. But once it gets up in north of this line right here, it's going to go right into some very warm sea surface temperatures. So this thing should go ahead and crank up pretty good, despite the upper level low up here. It'll get cranking up really good here in about 36 to 48 hours. Here are the intensity models on Tropical Storm Alex. And we have many of the models are grouped together here, showing it not very strong. And that was another thing Stacy Stewart was mentioning this morning, is he was perplexed at the fact that the models don't indicate much strengthening, including the GFDL and the HWRF, which only take it up to strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane here. The ship's model, however, has it up near Category 3, and that would not surprise me. So I think the ship's model seems to have the best grasp on this system, but we'll see what plays out with this. Here is the heat content in the Atlantic Basin, And you can see where the system is right now. It's not a lot of heat content, but you get a little further north, that line I just drew on the last map, and we get into some of that deep heat content that goes down 150, 200 feet below the surface that this can tap into, especially with a slow-moving system. You get upwelling, so right where it's at right now, if it doesn't get moving quickly, it might start bringing up some cooler waters and prohibit any short-term intensification. But it continues to strengthen despite that. So once it gets up into the heat content here, it should really take off, if the upper level low does not mangle the system. All right, here we go with the models from last year. Jack posted this on the board yesterday about Jeff Masters' blog from yesterday. And these are the track forecast skills from 2009 on all the global models. And I was really shocked to learn that the Canadian model, which takes a lot of a lot of people take shots at the Canadian model on the internet as nicknames such as constantly making cyclones, and it's been a more radical model over the years as far as predictions and tracks and things. But look at this. It has the best performance 5 days out from the 2009 hurricane season, way up here. And then you have the other reliable models, the European model, the GFDL model, and GFS, and a few others are in here below the Canadian model. So the Canadian model's done very well at 5 days. And the Canadian model right now takes this into South Texas near Corpus Christi. So we need to watch that closely, any track as possible at this point. And again, they're working out there in the oil spill area. These vessels should be out of the area if gale force winds happen, but it looks like that's unlikely, and they should be able to continue working on the oil spill out there. All right, here's tropicalatlantic.com, and let's go over what the models are saying this morning. The best performing model so far at 5 days is the BAM-D, and there's the BAM-D track taking this in just north of Tampico, similar to what the official forecast is from the National Hurricane Center. BAM-D's only been about 100 miles off at 5 days, which is pretty good. And now if you take all the models on the right here that actually make landfall, it's 59 models. And out of the 59 models, 47% roughly take this into Mexico, and 52% take it into Texas. So it's almost 50-50 at this point, whether it's going to go into Texas or Mexico. So Texas has the lead slightly right now. And more importantly, 0% of all models are not showing landfall Louisiana east. So no models are showing it hitting Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, or Alabama. A couple of them take it pretty close to the border here, Louisiana and Texas, but none really take it anywhere near Louisiana, near New Orleans or surrounding areas. So that's it for now. We'll have more updates on this throughout the next few days. My next update video should be either this evening or tomorrow morning. We're still working on that, the details on that. But front page of Hurricane City, we have the coverage on hurricanecity.tv, the oil cams, the satellite and radars and everything from Alex, and we also have the front page updated constantly. The map is real time, so check it out whenever you get a chance. That's it for now. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.